Welcome to another episode of Quantum Growth for Financial Advisors. My guest today and I were just, what would I even call it? Were we sparring? Were we having a jovial laugh?
Banter, maybe?
Bantering, that's what it was.
Yeah, bantering.
Yes, and I didn't know if I was going to call our guest today Anton Anderson or Anton Anderson because I like to kind of confuse Anton or Anton's name. But today, we're going to go with Anton Anderson. So, with that being said, Mr. Anton Anderson, thanks for joining us again today.
My pleasure. That's the most unique intro on a podcast, Jonathan, I think I've ever had.
Yes. So I probably shouldn't say this on air, but when you called me Jonathan, it brought back a memory. When I was a kid, believe it or not, I was a little chubby, and one of my neighbors used to call me Fat.
Oh, oof. That stings.
Not very nice. That one stuck with me. So I won't use my neighbor's name. I don't think he's listening, but if you are, without doubt. So, hey, Anton, thanks for being on today. And this will be another short one. So Anton is one of the founding members of the Financial Advisor Success Syndicate, which our listeners now know I am super pumped about and believe will revolutionize the world of financial services and create this abundant mentality or abundance mentality mindset out there for financial advisors. You, my friend, exemplify the abundance mentality, and a lot of what I've learned about how to actually kind of give back and be able to reach many advisors in the industry. Humbly, I've learned a lot of that from you, and you are a master marketer of getting the word out and have given a lot to out to the world. So, as a refresher for our listeners, Anton is a founder and CEO of Elite Resource Team. An Elite Resource Team really helps financial advisors build proactive planning partnerships with accountants, CPAs, enrolled agents, et cetera. And helps financial advisors and accountants and CPAs collaborate to bring a virtual family office experience to the end user, generally the high net worth individual or the high net worth business owner. And a big part of Anton's role in the Financial Advisor Success Syndicate is going to be to teach you, the hopeful members of this group, exactly how to actually do that. So, Anton, maybe in your own words, you can tell a little bit more as a background about who you are, what you do briefly and succinctly, and then we can talk a little bit about kind of the vision for the syndicate.
Love it. Yes, I'm very excited about it because, ironically, you and I didn't coordinate any of this, but I really am a huge proponent of just the abundance mentality. And I think the more we focus on value and creating unique value, and the less we focus on worrying about competition and grinding it out, I think the better the clients are served, and actually the more we enjoy our careers, and ultimately the more revenue we make as well. So brief background: started in the industry when I was still in college at Smith Barney, left there shortly after graduating, actually even just a little before graduating, worked with a firm here in San Diego, California, that focused on providing high net worth clients with a more robust planning opportunity. That's where I started working with CPAs and attorneys. Left there in 2008, started my own company, started working with CPAs and grew a good little practice. Started getting the attention of different advisors. And about the third or fourth time, somebody reached out saying, "Hey, could you tell me how you grew your business so quickly with CPA partnerships?" Kind of dawned on me that there was an opportunity to probably transition to fuel my entrepreneurial and educational desires, and launch a training and consulting company. So co-founded Elite Resource Team in 2014. Up to date, we've trained just over 1,200 advisors and about 700 accountants. And as you said, the whole goal of the model is, how do you build proactive planning teams together where you can leverage each other's skill sets, stay in your lane, but create a more proactive and holistic experience for clients. Clients, we come to find out, really like having a team of professionals where they essentially have one go-to shop or go-to place to help them with the tax planning, the risk mitigation, the wealth management, the business advisory, and the legal services. So that's what the model is built on. The reason, if I'm just going to kind of jump ahead to the Financial Advisor Success Syndicate, when you, John, originally brought this idea to me, I just thought, wow, what a powerful way to leverage, I think, the direction the industry is going and lead it, I think, 2 or 3 steps ahead of where it is, in a place that really rewards collaboration and abundance thinking, rather than just, again, being worried about protecting your little piece of the pie. So I'm really excited about it. It fits in very nicely with what we preach at Elite Resource Team, and I'm excited to play a role as one of the founding members.
I love Anton Anderson. I love Anton and Anton for our listeners. As you're talking, our listeners have heard you talk before if they've listened to previous episodes. And, one of the things that you and I are completely aligned on is that financial advisors collaborating with accountants or CPAs, building this multidisciplinary practice, and then having this kind of virtual family office of experts wrapped around it is where the puck is going, right? So the great Wayne Gretzky, was at once asked what made him such a great hockey player. And what Wayne Gretzky said was, he goes when everybody else is going to where the puck is, he skates to where the actual puck is going. And, you and I have been aligned, and we love to call ourselves a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, because I think you're the chocolate and I'm the peanut butter, because I like peanut butter better. But I built my business around partnering with CPAs. You built your business. We both coached between us several thousand advisors on how to actually do this. But we both did it very, very similarly, yet very, very differently, in that our approach was similar, where it was about approaching the CPA with something that's unique and leading the CPA to think differently. My strategy was always a little bit more around financial planning in a general way, and I call them mass affluent, say the $500,000 to $5 million household, right? The kind of the millionaire next door. And yours was more around the higher net worth strategy and that high-end client, generally a very successful business owner. And we've now kind of blended it together where advisors can do both, which is really cool. And, as Anton was sharing the story about, his excitement of being part of the Financial Advisor Success Syndicate, he gave me credit and said, when I came to him with the idea, the truth be told, the idea was a collaboration of ours, really, right? So one of the things that I'd love for you to share with the audience is Elite Resource Team, for our listeners, is in essence a kind of, I'll call it a micro version specifically catered to the advisor community on how to partner with CPA firms and utilize a virtual family office. What we're building will have that as a component, but also all of the other founding members and their expertise, whether it be the mergers and acquisition side, or whether it be coaching, or whether it be recruiting or marketing, so on, et cetera. So what really gave me this idea was what you've done at Elite Resource Team, and the fact that you've built this community and you've built this group. So what I'd love for you to do, being that you've lived it and you're running it very successfully, as you think about what's happening inside of your community, although catered more towards the CPA partnership model, what do you envision this ultimately looking like? So for our advisors listening, as they think about applying, because again, I'm going to say it every probably interview with the founding member, it's the no jerk rule. Only nice people that have fast growing businesses are allowed into the syndicate. But if someone does join and is accepted to join, what do you believe some of the benefits of having this community are?
Yeah, really good question. So there's 2 thoughts that come to mind for me. One is the whole red ocean, blue ocean concept, and crash course if someone's not familiar with that term. Red ocean is an established marketplace, really competitive. It's red because it's bloody and people are fighting for their market share. Think about a Toyota, a GM, a Ford. Blue ocean is untapped marketplace where a company or an individual has actually created new market share. So they really aren't competing on the same variables as a red ocean company. Blue ocean, think a Tesla as an example. So John, I think what we have, and we're just at the beginning stages of this right now, is a shift in multiple marketplaces, but certainly financial services, accounting, even legal services to a degree, because of technology and people getting comfortable with technology, AI playing a bigger and bigger role, outsourcing and that becoming more comfortable. So one of the things I think people will get from the community is a better sense and almost like a preview of where things are going and going quickly, because it's never going to be the large established players in the marketplace that can see and predict. It's always going to be like a smaller percentage of people that are, I think, thought leaders that have the time to invest and understand and study how these things are impacting, our industry. So that's one. The other is, you and I both have a good friend and mentor and coach, Ray Kelly, and he talks a lot about the adult learning theory. And so quickly to break that down, adult learning theory, if you take a pie chart of the way that adults learn, only 10% of that is going to come from formal teaching, right? That's the conference, that's the books, that's the videos we watch. 20% is going to come from mentoring and coaching. And then 70% is going to come from actually experience. So if I'm reflecting on Elite Resource Team and why I feel like we've been able to grow the way we are, and what I'm anticipating will happen in the Financial Advisor Success Syndicate, because of the way we're building it, it's not here's some material digested on your own and you might be smarter. It's, as you said, join a community, no jerk rule, but of successful individuals that are all doing something. And then what you get to do is you have the formal learning from myself, from you, from John Randall, from David Grau, from the other founding members of Financial Advisor Success Syndicate. Then you also have the community of the other successful advisors, right? So there's the 20%. So 10% formal learning, 20% mentoring, coaching. I mean, the opportunity to get on a call live with any of the founding members, or to ask questions in the community to the founding members or to the other community advisors, incredibly valuable. And then the 70% is, now that we're all doing this together, make sure you're rolling up your sleeves and applying the knowledge yourself as well. And I think the platform we're using really acknowledges and rewards the individuals that are applying the information. Because at the end of the day, like, nobody's doing this, I think, out of obligation. We're all doing it because we're pretty obsessed with our craft. We don't really need more money from this. It's really a passion project. We're obsessed with our craft, and we really want to master our skill set and then communicate that to individuals that will actually take it and apply it. So we all collectively have a bigger impact on the marketplace. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, no, I completely align, and super well said as always. I think you're right. I think, I think about, I think you're the third interview like this that I've done, and everybody's kind of aligned. I've already interviewed Ray Kelly, who you mentioned, and I think I interviewed John Randall, and I've got, David and Tina and Frank up next, and everybody's aligned. It's like you said, and it's a level of kind of like corporate arrogance is what we call it inside of my own wealth management firm. It's like, none of us need to do this. We want to do it. And that's pretty cool when you get these like-minded people who are like, hey, let's just give away all our stuff. Let's help people ultimately grow. Let's ask for nothing. And I think you're right. It's a combination of that 10, 20, 70 scenario. I think the coolest thing, I don't remember it was me or Randall who said it the last time, but it's almost like being able to be at a national conference with really, I think, well-respected thought leaders in the industry from your living room on a weekly basis. And you can tune in without having to go through all of the hoopla of the conference. and then to have feedback loop of the members inside of it in the community to hear what other people are doing. And I think there's a level of accountability there as well, because we'll get to see how others are actually executing and being successful and throw ideas out, et cetera. So I'm super stoked about it. So Anton, let me ask you this as we think about wrapping up here. I wanted this to kind of be short and sweet. So you're a visionary guy. We talked about Wayne Gretzky, right? Skating to where the puck is going. Where is the Financial Advisor Success Syndicate going? So if you were to look out, let's say 5 years from now. So here we are in 2023. So we're in 2028, 5 years from now. The Success Syndicate's been around for 5 full years. What does it look like? How many members are in there? What kind of impact do you think we could have? Like, what do you envision in your kind of realistically wild dreams that this thing could look like? I don't know what your answer is going to be, so it'll be interesting.
So I read recently about the PayPal mafia, and that term got applied to a handful of individuals, well, a couple dozen individuals that were involved in starting PayPal in the early days that went off to have incredible impact on the industry as a whole, the tech industry, right? And so you have Tesla, SpaceX, Facebook, Google, Lyft, Airbnb. I mean, you could go down and it's like dozens of names today that are household names, all started or originated from a group of individuals that came together on one project. That's what I think this project will be in 5 to 10 years. It will be a Financial Advisor Success Syndicate. And if you do a diagram or a web of what came from the individuals, the founding members, the members that originally joined, the people that just really believe in what's being built, I think it's going to have such a dramatic impact that people will chart out the spiderweb effect. And it will, I don't know that there will be a part of our industry that is not ultimately impacted by what is being created here.
Oh, that's big. I like that. So it's like an incubator is what you're saying. It's like an incubator of leaders developing leaders and kind of our own kind of thought leadership provoking, right, more and more and more thought leadership. And that's super aligned with what I think what's going to wind up happening, or if I were to look 5 years out, I don't even think we can honestly imagine the amount of value that we can have and the amount of folks that can join and other thought leaders. And it's just like, let's build a place where the brightest minds come and we share. And if you're not a nice person and you think you know everything, bye, don't join. We don't want you. We only want nice people. That's what I really love about it, is you get to build your own little culture. And I know, part of my job is going to be the culture keeper, and just make sure that we kind of police that and we fill it with the right people. So I'm going to hold you to one more thing. So how many members do you think are going to be in this community in 5 years? I want your, I know we've already got a couple of hundred on the waiting list to get in, and I'm not sure when this will release actually, but where do you think we'll be if you were to fast forward 5 years from now?
I intentionally didn't answer that, and I'll tell you why. And you can pin me down, or I'll give you some numbers. But I think there's 2 directions this could go. One would be you focus on a smaller number of people. Let's say, for example, 500, but it's 500 of the right people, and they're leading teams, and so you have massive leverage and a multiplier effect there. So you're focused on less people, but a bigger impact with each of them. The other side would be you don't intentionally put a cap on it and you open it up, in which case, I would think we're talking 10,000 members.
And so you say 10,000, or maybe the better bet is to keep it small and boutique-y, which I think I like that as you think about it as well. So, and it's interesting to our listeners, we're literally figuring this out as we go. just so you know, we know what we want to do is we want to just provide a ton of value, more than you could expect from a paid coaching program. Most paid coaching programs, I should say, that's our goal. And then what it will ultimately look like, that's a great point. Like, do we want to keep it small and boutique-y and really have the right people who are going to be fast growers, or do we want to create a little bit of a larger community? You know what? time will tell. I don't know what the right answer actually is. So, Anton, anything that I didn't hit with you today that you wanted to share with the listeners? And then if you don't mind, I'll hit you with the cut and two-step. Just where could our listeners find you if they want to check you out and see what you're all about?
I think to your first question, the only other thing I would say is just when I'm looking at my role and what I hope to do with the community is kind of twofold. There's the macro, which is be a champion for the concept of abundance thinking and collaboration. That's probably my biggest goal. The second would be to take my experience within teaching advisors how to form proactive planning teams with accountants to grow a mutually beneficial business and then leverage a virtual family office. So I kind of have a micro expertise within that niche, and I look forward to sharing anything that's helpful to the community. And then I also just want to be a champion for the overall cause because, again, I believe in it so much. And then where can folks find us? So my main company website, elitert.com. And we also release up to one video a week on YouTube with just tons of ideally free training content that helps advisors along their journey of partnering with CPAs and leveraging virtual family office. So that's just under Elite Resource Team on YouTube.
Anton and Anton, I wanted to thank you both for being here today. I think I called you Anton the whole time, which was good. I feel like when we're a little more official, I call you Anton. I think it sounds a little fancier.
I'll let my parents know that. Yeah, I'll pass that feedback along.
Yeah, I'll tell you, my kids actually make fun of me. So my oldest son's name is Sean. And he says when I introduce him, like in a social event, I'll say, this is my son, Sean, as opposed to Sean, which I think is kind of funny. I don't think I do it, but for today, you're Anton. Maybe tomorrow you'll be Anton. So to our listeners, I hope you got to know Anton a little bit better, as well as Anton. And I wanted to thank you for listening to another episode of Quantum Growth for Financial Advisors. You'll continue to see on social media and out in the news more and more about the Financial Advisor Success Syndicate. We will link to this episode notes how to actually join or put in an application, I should say, to the Financial Advisor Success Syndicate. And we hope you consider becoming a member. We think you're going to get a ton out of it. And with that, we hope you also got a ton out of today. So thanks again for listening to another episode of Quantum Growth for Financial Advisors. If you yourself or anyone you know could be a good, interesting guest, let us know and shoot us a note. Make it a great day. Thanks.